continue to what to raise the rate to what kind of comfort or kind of control inflationary pressure that also have been on the up price. And this has been threatening investor and the consumers sentiment in these few days. That is why many banks, investment banks, are kind of pointing out that this might lead to what to what we call global recession. And not only that, we can see that fear of global recession has also started to reflect in the price of crude oil. And don't forget that many assets last week were below what they are below a big point. When I say that they are all close southward as at last week, you can see that Bitcoin was below $20,000. You can see that other oil products, crude oil products, or after telling all of them are below and their last week price now, as to speak now, selling in red. Therefore, that it tells you that something is wrong somewhere, and the fear of this recession. Because when there's a recession, even the demand for the oil, even at the current price, could also be difficult. You can see that that's also pushing the price of crude oil price down as we speak now. At this hour, crude oil price is trading around 112.2 0.20 per dollar. No, it tells you that 112.2 dollar per barrel. It tells you that the world is also looking at what is happening, and this has sent kind of a signal to the market. People want to work what we call panic selling. I also want to go for safe haven. That is why you can see that it's only the fixed income market that to speak now globally is a bit looking up, but despite that most of them are like here back there Nigeria are in real negative return, people are still thinking going that angle just because they want to play safe. And at the same time, even when what they are getting as return is not much, but because of security purpose, their capital, even when the capital will be eroded at the end of the day because of inflation, they are still looking at. But why the wise investors, I think, calculated risk to see in some sectors of the equity market, some companies equity market that's going to deliver value globally and still positioning in that market. As we speak now, I'll tell you that crude oil is trading below last week low, and this also within just a short time after the crude oil have touched as high as $126.98 within just a space of 3 to 1 month. It tells you that they're really panic in the market, and this decline for the first trading day of this week, it tells you that panic is already in the market around both investors and the consumers because of what? Because of rising inflation and also the high in price, because the hike in rate is going to also find a way of sending cost high, because when you're writing rate at the same time you are trying to kind of deflect the recovery you expect the economy, because high cost of of fund plus what is happening globally is going to lead to recession, and that recession is going to affect the crude oil. You can see that's why crude oil price, as I said earlier, is also looking down, because the International Energy Agency also warned on Wednesday that the soaring oil price and the weakened economic forecast dim what the future demand outlook for oil. As I just have said earlier, this is what we are looking at, and that's why we are seeing crude oil price. All prices of oil are now in red at this hour. It sends you a signal for you to know that all is not well. But I believe that once we're able to contain the inflation and also manage the continuing tightening, the monetary policy tightening, that with all this hike, that also give us where the economy is going globally. And if we come back globally, locally here, you can see that our economy, yes, Q1 we saw GDP slowing down compared to the last Q4 2021. A sign, and also if you look at also the purchasing margin index also shows you that yes, there are already contraction in that space, so that at the end of the day, this also will help also to manage what is happening in the economy. On that note, we expect that going forward, this is also going to affect the economy. That's why it's either you sacrifice the economy for because of rate hike, you should know what to do as a economic managers. I believe that this hike we have seen in our market here, which also have triggered kind of out of a fund flowing out of equity market to fixed income market because of the deep nature of the fixed income market. I believe that once we start seeing the Q2 number and start seeing value for stock, it might not be a bit of, but there are some stock that will be doing spike, and also there are stock that will sustain an uptrend. After the earnings season, because it will open the eyes of every player, both those in fixed income and that this company is heading for what? For a better return, for a boom. That also is settled that headed for boom. This is where we'll be looking at, and I believe that in a common master class, we're going to dwell on these sectors and the kind of companies that and what is going to influence their price. But I will tell you that the Q2 number will be an eye opener. We have seen that the rate of fund moving to some some stocks in the market. And also seeing a pullback for last week. What happened last week? For me, what happened last week was very interesting. People were calling me. I said they should not bother. They should not panic. Market is expected to correct, and if you see how the market is correcting, it shows that there's also been a support for the market, that the market will also go up again very soon if the right information hit the market, and also there's a change in some things that I will expect that going to the future as we start seeing funds coming back to the market and also seeing some sectors numbers and also their earnings. Those companies I've said earlier that we're able to pass the cost of their increase in their cost to consumer, despite that we have seen inflation hitting as high as 17.71 for the month of May. There are some companies that comfortably will also pass this their high cost to their consumer, and their product will still be demanded. These are where you want to look at. You want to see those companies that will sustain a positive earnings even in the midst of all this happening globally and locally. You can see that some companies already, the cost of importing some their materials has already eaten up some their profit after tax. Seeing they're having a top bottom line, a top a bloat top line, but at the end of the day, their bottom line becomes seen because of high cost. This one will experience in some companies that have not done backward integration. For those that have done backward integration, what are we expecting from them? This is going to guide us in what we're going to take decision when we are investing. But I believe that after looking at the chart today, we will now know the position where some of these companies belong to. That will give us an idea what to do going into the future. For the market, as to speak now, for me, needs some trigger, and those trigger is what we expect that will change the market. But market is pulling back. The thing this morning that market has pulled back last week, but this morning market is resisting a pullback, trying to bounce back again to green. But we want to still confirm what will happen at the end of the day. If market continue in this direction and it is going down further, it tells you that the market is looking out for a trigger, and that trigger will come any moment from now. And as it comes, it will change the face of the. And this trigger will come in form of what? In form of two things. One, positioning for any season, and also positioning for what? For interim dividend. The any season and interim dividend will add some value to some companies that you see some sentiment, especially now that they are pulled back. Don't forget that also last week what happened that when you see stock like Airtel and MTN losing. MTN lost about 7.8% last week. MTN, sorry, while Airtel also slide down marginally, and you see all this stock pulling back, and you see the major first tier banks pulling back to their low, to their lowest price compared to what we saw last year. For me, is also a point of attraction for those that institute dividend paying company banks. That was also guide investors on what to do. Yes, analysts are saying that market will go down. I believe that investors should apply caution. Not that market is going to go down. Market will always take place. The way the market went up, that is going to see. But look at where is the major support level. That is why I've always emphasized in this class that you must know how to use your stop loss, and at the same time all also technical tools like what your support and resistance level, your T line, your Fibonacci, and how to use your volume. Volume is very important at this hour so that you know exactly what is happening in that particular stock or the market, so that you know exactly what to do. If you know how to use all these I've just mentioned, and that's why if you have not mastered all this, don't just feel bad, or rather what you do, just make time that you make time available to be at the Common Master class. Yes, we're going to also discuss some chat there. We're going to discuss how to use price action by professional, also how to use the earnings, and also how to use what is happening in the economy and all those stuff, the political environment we're having, what's going to how it's going to impact the market. This is what we're going to discuss in that master class. You make our time and join us at the market class. It's very, very important because we want to take advantage of this correction we have seen in the market to position for Q2 or half year earnings report. Once we're able to take the right decision at the right time, I will tell you that this was going to go a long way to help us to know exactly what is going on in that space. Once you know what is going on in that space, I will tell you, you will enjoy everything that that is happening around the market. Once that is done, I'll tell you, you are good to go, because it goes a long way to give you exactly information what is happening so that you know exactly what to do at the right time. Now, I want to look at the few new market news that just entered the market for today. They are very few, but I would just say just few because the market is still very young. This is the first trading of the week. As this morning, we saw the internal oil notifying the market of exchange of its outcome in their AGM that was held last week ahead of their 2022 full year year end. For me, this is to guide you. You can see that new board of directors have been appointed and all those stuff. You need to know how it's going to change the face of Etana. Also, Nestle also publish or inform the exchange of shareholders list of unclaimed dividend for the shareholders or investors in that company. These are the only information that are in the market as we speak. But we want to go back to see the state of the market as we speak now. I'll tell you the market is slightly what in red. No, market is slightly in red as we speak now. Market is doing 51,750.48. I mean, market have lost 27.80 points, representing negative 0.10% at this hour. Market is also market breadth is also negative as we speak. We are seeing 11 losers against 4 gainers. These 4 gainers are just Zenith Bank, Jais Bank, GT Code, and Fidelity are the 4 gainers as we speak. Why the 11 losers are the top 5 losers are International Brewery, Royal Exchange, Lasaco, ABC Transport, and Transcorp. I'm not surprised, and you can see these are the ones that are leading the pack as we speak now, because these are the position of the market right now. And don't forget that volume is very, very important when you are playing the market. And this volume is what you want to look at. And like I said, if you look at what happened the previous week, you can see that volume in some of the stocks that were or the trading for last week, you see that volume were reducing even when prices are going down. Also, if you look at the whole week transaction in terms of volume, that compared to the previous week, even that it is 4 days trading days for the week, you can also see that the volume traded was lower than compared to the previous week. This also to give you an insight that when you are reading your market data, as I said earlier, as you are using your Fibonacci, by using your T line, you want to look at what is happening in terms of volume, so that at the end of the day, you get the right information, what you need at that particular time to know whether this stock that is declining, that as declining volume is declining, is it getting to touch the support level? You can see where your resistance and your support tools is very, very important when you are using your chart, because I tell you that it's not only looking at what is the price action is doing. You want to know where is the price action. Is it at the support level or at the resistance level that I want to break out? Where is the position? Once you're able to know this, you are good to go. But when you are reading your indicators one-sided, you are not following other things as a guide to know exactly what to do. You'll be standing on the wrong footing when you analyze it. But when you combine all these indicators as we speak right now, it will give you an insight what is happening in that stock. And automatically, once you know what is happening in the market and individual stock, you know exactly what to do, because now we are seeing that markets on the pullback, your T line and your Fibonacci, and also the the resistance and the support level will be very important thing to look at, because it's going to guide you exactly what to do. Once you know what to do with that, you exactly know exactly the direction to go, because you don't follow the bandwagon. You need to know. Like this morning, now you can see that the volume was seeing the top the top 5 trading volume are UBA, GT Code, ICO, International Brewery, and Zenith. And UBA is doing what? Is doing 25 million this morning. And UBA has come already a double top. When we come there, you're going to see it on the chart. We're going to see this chart formation. UBA is already doing a triple bottom, or we call it the not top, a bottom now, showing the sign that the stock is likely to rebound. And knowing that UBA, for me, is a bank which should watch, because if you look at the earnings and also the spread of their operation, we expect that these are the companies that will benefit from what is happening in the Free Africa Zone agreement we have now in the Africa Zone. That will also be a plus for every investor in that dimension. Let's see how this stock is going to play out this morning. Then, but before we go to looking at what the stock is playing out, we want to really look at what is happening exactly in the index. What index doing? Is index giving us a direction where the general market is going? Because once index is going one direction, it tells you what the general stocks or the other indicators in the market will look like. But now, as an investor, you want to know what is happening in the index now. That will give you an insight as we speak now. Let's quickly look at what is happening in the index. Looking at the chart that's on display now. This chart will tell you, you can see this is what we call a index action. You can see it here. But there's something I want to show you. Look at this point here. This point here is point 1, this point 2, this point 3. You can see that the market here is trying to get a green point here. That the market is all forming a triple bottom. You can see we're not double bottom now. Here. Market got here. When it got here for the first time, it rebounded. And this double bottom, let me use that language. Now it's coming down here to the same level again. It's trying to rebound again. You can see that we are seeing a green, light small green here. Even at the market at this point, it tells you that market is also struggling to go below this point. But we want to see how the market is going to end for the day for us to know exactly if the market will be able to resist today. If market resists decline today, that means banking hunters are taking advantage of the pullback to position, because I see a lot of opportunity in the banking sector, because most of the intelligent paying company are in this sector, and also the pullback was in the price an opportunity to enter. And don't forget that the adjustment in MPR is a plus for the bank. As we speak now, go and check the total lending rate for the bank. Right? It has increased to almost like 27 or something. So tell that this bank in Q3, if this rate is sustained, it's that we're going to see better profit margin in terms of interest margin, sorry, from this bank. That was also going to impact on their number. That means you are sure of the banks sustaining their payout. Even some will grow it if the earnings improve. Then that if now that you want to hedge against inflation, yes, most of the banking stocks have not returned which percentage change in terms of year to date. But I tell you that for consistent dividend payment for those that are income investors, retirees, I think the banking sector is where you should, especially the life of Zenith Bank, the life of Access, the life of UBA, and not that of GTB, even Stanbic IBTC. These are the ones that I know that they are consistent. You need to also look at what is happening in these companies. Once you're able to achieve it, you are good to go in terms of what? In terms of picking your stock. I see also opportunity in the oil sector. That is why I said that there are two things that are going to drive the market between now and end of July. One, as we entering the last week of the month of June, we are seeing prices have suffered losses. These losses have kind of create opportunity to buy low. I see banking hunters to take advantage of it. As also we are saying that we are looking ahead to see those earnings, the Q2 or half year result depend on their number, and also those that will be positioned for interim dividend. And don't forget that this is also end of the quarter. No matter what it is, the big players in the market want to close their portfolios in a positive way so that they can earn from what from their firm, from their client they are managing their firm. I see that between now and the first week of July, we might see a little rebound in some few stocks. And don't forget that whether the market is correcting, few stocks also be making spike up and down. That also tell you that you should know how to use your technical analysis. Also, tie note your position to your stop loss at all times. Do not allow sentiment or emotion to carry you away. Use your stop loss rightly at the right time so you can know when to cut loss and move to the right position. Than seeing your stop coming down, and you are not taking action. That stop loss will go a long way to help you. So that at the end of the day, you're able to stand right and make sure that your portfolio is benefiting from any max direction. Whether the market is going up or down. That's why I say coming masterclass, despite the situation market, you're going to preserve your stocks, your fund, and also be making money, because the last masterclass we did in the second quarter, I'll tell you all the defensive stocks that were given, all of them return money and their position is still intact. It tells you that when you are playing in the kind of market where there's uncertainty as a result of political environment we're having now, and also because of what is happening globally, you need to play defensive in some stock that also will preserve your capital for you, and also at the same time you'll be making money on your position. And also when the market is in direction, you don't put all your fund in the market, especially if you are a stock market trader. Don't say you have 1 million, you want to buy at once. No, you buy in stages to watch where the market is going, so that when the market is going out of hand, you can know that all your fund. But don't just say because you see a stock that is cheap. No, but when you buy in stages, you see improvement. You can also be averaging up to see where the price will take you. That is how to invest. Like I said earlier, here, you can see my cursor here. These are the point of a band. You can see when it touch here, a band. We're expecting that here, as we are seeing this being, let's see what the market will close today. But I see that market is also looking good. The first, strong support level that market should break out for us to look at. Once the market break out, I see that market have broken out the strong support level of 51,800.40. Now market is doing 51.7 or something. Then the next target for support level to look at what is 51,574.46. Then finally, when that is exhausted, for me, if looking at Fibonacci, the last one that we can just is at 50,993.59. These are what we are looking at, but I believe the market will not go all the way to start bouncing back. Let's watch and see. That's why you don't need to panic at this point, but rather hold your position and watch the market work, very well. Once you are watching the market very well, you don't need to also panic at all. The stock that I want to chart this morning, I want to look at what is happening in UBA, what is happening in GTB, look at what is happening in Zenith, then Fidelity. You can see that the banking stock is one leading the few gainers this morning is banking stock. Want to look at them. I still want to look at UBA, GTB, Zenith Bank. Look at the life of this what we call Jaiz Bank. Jaiz Bank is solely bank that if you look at the chart that was displayed today on our site, the chart pattern, It's only Zai Bank that is standing up on that chart pattern. Others are forming resistance on their bottom line, on their support line, trying to bounce. But Jaiz Bank is still trending up. If you look at the chart very well, that will display in the slide. I'll share the link after the class so that you can also look at the chart yourself. No, this is what we expect. That we look at, Zenith Bank, look at the UBA GT code, then also look at Transcorp again. These are the stock we'll be looking at this one. That is few of them. We're looking at Jaiz Bank, Fidelity, Transcorp, UBA, GT Code, Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank. Let's look at these banks very well first before we add another one. But let's look at this one first. International bureau is going all down, but I'm not surprised. Profit taking has to take its place. It's pass and pass for the market anytime, any day. As correction is what we're seeing in the general market. Then seeing stocks that have rallied, on a small space, in a shorter time, they're also to be correction, and we're not surprised of this correction we're seeing, in some of the bureau's company. But let's look at this chart first and see what is going up. You can see this is for what? This is for the market. But let's quickly take what is happening. The first one here, let's look at what is happening in Jaiz Bank. That will give us, sense of direction to see what I'm saying, I just said earlier in Jaiz Bank so that you can see for yourself and see that the chart Jaiz Bank is different from others in the market. You can see this is a day chart for Jaiz Bank as we speak. For quick one, let me just call other our indicators for clear analysis to see what the sentiment is saying, because it's good to understand what the market is doing and where it's going from there. That sentiment is very, very important. Look at our ADS, go back to look at money flow and MACD, money flow and what, and our Fibonacci in terms of what our T line. T line as well is a form of Fibonacci for us to always use. But let's look at it this morning. Yes, you can see, looking at the his bank. If we take this trend here, if we want to draw a trend line here now, I want to do that. Draw this up here now. You can see that this stock is trending up. Also take another one from here. Even when you can see that the trend line is below, it tells that it's trending up. Also, we can take one from here, from this point here, and also take it up. You can see where it tested all this, the top one here, and you can see that I will tell you the stock, you can see is still up. But if you look at your MACD and the money flow, it's just going down this one, but still looking up. For me, it's the stock that has strength. You can see where it is on a daily chart. All are positive. You can see that the MACD is still bearish, bullish, despite that the histogram is coming down to tell you that the bearishness is slowing down, the bullishness is slowing down, but you don't need to panic on this. But you can also see that the ADS is very, very strong. It's been around the 34, 31 for me. It's very strong. But you can see the blue line looking up here and the right line up here, the thick one here. For me, it's a good one for the market for Jaiz. Let's look at the 1 hour chart for Jaiz. That will give us a clear direction. If you look at 1 hour chart for Jaiz, you can see that he maintained that what we call a bullish channel. You can see it now. You can see the channel that is still up. For me, it's a good one for the stock. Even when it comes down here, it come up. But now it's slightly below, on top of the T line. For me, it's a good one. Once it breaks up again, it's a sign of uptrend. For me, it's a good one for the stock. Let's wait and see. Also, you can see that on a daily chart, you can see that it's almost trying to become bullish on the daily chart. You can see this histogram here, or our money flow is flat around 20. Let's see, looking up gradually small, and you can see, that the ADS is around 19. For me, 19 is okay. Anything above 20 is okay, but 19 now is still not too bad. Let's wait and see what is going to happen in stock. If you're in Jaiz Bank, I would say hold on, but Jaiz Bank is not an dividend paying company, but you can still hold on your position in Jaiz Bank. Let's quickly look at what is happening in Fidelity before we go to the intraday paying dividend. Before we go to the intraday paying banking stock to see what is happening. On 1 hour chart, I can tell you that Fidelity is slightly below the T line here, and the MACD is bullish but not too strong. It's bullish. And money flow is very strong on 1 hour chart. It's bullish on 1 hour chart. we're seeing that we're seeing that ADS is around the 23, 20, around the 23, 24, still okay, good above 20. Let's go to one a day chart to see what is happening in the stock. Let's see what is happening in the stock now. That will go a long way to tell us what is happening in the stock. Let's watch. You can see that from here to here is below what? Below the T line here. But try to cross up here. Once now it's trading slightly above the T line on the chart. You can see it here. For me, it's a good one for Fidelity. For Fidelity, it's not in trading. MACD is positive for Fidelity. You can see almost forcing to become bullish. You can see the T line is almost here. For me, it's a good one for Fidelity. You can see Fidelity not doing badly, and money flow is looking up above almost above 30. I reading there 45 to 46. Strong for Fidelity, but quick one. Let's start with also the dividend paying banking stock. Let's look at UBA first. Yeah, let's look at UBA. Yeah, so that you can see those things I'm saying. This UBA, you can see UBA here. You can see once no strong, no support level here. One you can see here, you can see here, you can see from here, here, here. You can see that whenever it touches here, this level UBA always rebound, and that is what it's doing now. In the moment from I can see the stock turning up here. I can see it here. Looking at yes, money flow is looking down, but I believe that this low price attraction at this point will likely change the flow in what in good way. That's why I say at this point, if you are taking position at this price, you don't jump in, fully with your fund. You take it what stage by stage. But you can see that this is the point. Whenever you get touch here, this is strong support level. I can see more than triple top button here. 1, 2, 3. If that happens, the band is very clear for this stock, and that is why you don't need to also disturb yourself at this point in terms of UBA. This is for UBA. But let's look at 1 hour chart for UBA. You can see that UBA 1 hour chart, you can see how it look like. 1 hour chart is not too friendly, but I tell you, the stock is not doing badly at all. You can see volume here, on a few hours, you can see it here. Although the money flow is looking down, that is for UBA. Let's quickly look at what is happening in Zenith Bank. Then we'll now look at Access and the GTB to call the class a day. For now, take the remaining one tomorrow. We'll look at Zenith Bank. So let's look at Zenith. Zenith Bank Nigeria. Yeah, see, this is the chart of Zenith Bank on an hour chart. An hour chart, you can see that the stock is almost for the last 2 hours. You can see that trying to look up here now. You can see almost touching break out the T line. You can see here, money flow is looking up. You can see, the MACD is trying to cross the red one. That is a bullish sign. You can see it here on a white chart. For me, you can see this one coming up. This is a positive thing for UPF for Zenith Bank. If you are Zenith Bank, I will tell you just hold your position in this stock, because we have seen potential in the bank that your dividend will come powerfully this time. On that note, you need to hold your position in what in Zenith Bank. It's very, very important. You can see here that the stock is trying to rebound. You can see the blue that does not cover this one. I would call it bullish engulfing on the day chart, but still looking up. Let's see whether it's able to cover it. The last red candle. This week one candle is a bullish, but now we're still having a bearish engulfing, because this one is higher than this. But it's a good sign that it's trying to rebound here. And also, if you look at this point here, and here, that's why I said let's watch to see whether the bank has almost formed, but it break out this lower, this around the 20, 12, 21, 22 naira down now to this level where it is around the 21. The strong support level we have seen was around the 2209. We have broken it out now to this level, but at any moment from now to see the band, because the indicators, momentum indicators are giving sign. You can see it here. This one looking up gradually. This one looking up gradually. But I see that the dividend support Zenith Bank. Any price below this one become attractive for you to buy Zenith Bank. But for traders that want to really wait to confirm before you might wait for this to cross this blue line here, the T line, before you can jump in for Zenith Bank. Yeah. Let's quickly look at GTB and asset before our time is fast spent. Let's look at what is happening in other ones. Yeah. Let's look at the GT code. Keep one. Look at GT code. Difficult performance as we speak. You can see from all this white has been below the C line. That means we have sell off here, come here, but as we speak now, it's here to break out what the top line. But for GT code, you have to also watch. You can see this is strong point when you get to around the 2140, 2140 rebounded. Now it's always been at 159. You can see just watch at this level. Any breakout from here, you can also see that it is slightly below the T line. A breakout up will confirm your position for GT code. Don't panic here, especially if you have cash. Wait to see to enter. But here you can buy in stages because you can see that it's trying to resist further decline here. You need to see what to do, and you can see money flow gradually looking up around it, but still not too strong. Money has crossed 51, but still it's looking up slightly to 20, around the 27.30, and we're seeing also here that MACD is not too friendly, still buried on a day chart. Let's look at 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart is still telling us that we need to watch. The stock is resisting the decline. You can see it here on 1 hour chart here. But let's watch and see what happens. You can see also this one is coming up gradually to see that the histogram just sign that it might on a 1 hour chart. But let's look at what is happening in Access Bank today. Let's look at what is happening in Access Corp. Yes, on a 1 hour chart, you can see a green move on assets, but still below the T line. But I'll tell you, this is strong sign that this stock might likely, but you can see it has broken down, an uptrend down here before this level. But let's watch and see. You can see down half one left here. You can see what is doing now on a 1 hour chart. But I think a day chart will give us a clear direction of what the stock is doing now. But yes, because you can see if you draw this line here, you can see that it has broken down an uptrend here down for this while. But see that here it tries to resist decline to go up. But for those that are thinking long, can be entry position. But for those traders like me, you want to confirm a breakout before you start. But for long-term investor, that dividend income investor, you can buy now because you are sure of dividend coming in terms of internet dividend. But money flow is still looking down. But you can see the position because anywhere from now, I said it earlier, we're not going to expect the rate hike to impact the banking sector results much for the half year, but for the second half of the year, we're expecting to change the narrative for the bank in terms of earnings, and that will also go a long way if the economy sustains this. But I believe that also there are other things that the government and the citizen should do to kind of push this effect of rate hike because cost of funds will naturally go up, and that will also slow down expansion for some companies. But who believe that those companies that have done backward integration will have cost to kind of boost a positive number, and also if their services or their goods are kind of inelastic in terms of demand, despite increase in price, there will be demand for their products. To also expect that. But there are some sectors that I know the positive information that is out there, fundamental information was meant to impact their sector positively. We also look at this sector to see what we can do. Yes, I will say a big thank you for being with us for today. Thank you all, and also God bless you. But don't forget to make time for a common master class. So I've come back to resume for this week. Sorry for last week, I'm not in town, but now I'm back this week. Let's watch the market together. The market is not doing badly as people have painted it, but know that the market is correcting. That correction is getting an advantage for you and I to buy at a low price. We are seeing new prices at this level. What you do, you buy gradually to see what the Q2 number and the dressing and the dividend talk will do to the market going into the future. For me, there's no panic in the market, but invest wisely. Where you have made profit, where you need to cut your loss, where you need to take your profit is very, very necessary. I'll say see you tomorrow. Thank you, and God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your trading day.